In this example states, NASA launches a rocket at t equals 0 seconds. Its height in meters above sea level as a function of time is given by h or t equals negative 4.9 t squared plus 106 t plus 36. Assuming that the rocket will splash down into the ocean, at what time does the splashdown occur? So the first part wants us to find at what time does the rocket splashes down. And the second part wants to know how high above sea level does the rocket get at its peak. So for the first part, we're looking when it splashes down. That means when the height is 0. So we're going to look for we're going to use the quadratic formula to find the x-intercepts. So the intercepts will give us time. So when it splashes down, I'm going to use the quadratic formula. So A is negative 4.9, B is 106, and C is 136. So here's the quadratic formula, and I substitute the values into the quadratic formula. Now I am going to simplify inside the radical. After I simplify inside the radical, the last step is going to be to add the two numbers. After I have added, I'm going to go ahead now and split it into two answers. Remember, we're going to have one positive and one negative. Big numbers, you want to be careful, very easy to make a mistake. Then we have 106 minus divided by 2. Now let's go ahead and make those calculations. Now once we have worked out both examples, if you notice, the positive one gives you a negative answer right here. So this one we're going to cross out. This gives you a positive answer. Now, the iMath system is picky with this. So for the first part, for this one, I would like for you to write your answer. All of this part. This. You can try the decimal, but it might not take it. So if it doesn't take the decimal, if it doesn't take the decimal of 22.85, you can write it as parentheses negative 106 minus SQRT. I'm not running out of space. SQRT 13,901.6 close parentheses divided by 2. You can write it like that if you want. So remember, we discard this one because it gave us a negative answer and we're looking for time. And we cannot have time. So this is an OR here. Okay, so that was the first part. Yay. The second part. How high above sea level does the rocket get at its peak? For this one, we are going to use the vertex. We're looking for the height. So the x value, the y value of the vertex. So I'm going to go ahead and rewrite my formula. H of t equals negative 4.9 t squared plus 106t plus 136. Okay, so I'm looking for the vertex. I'm going to use the formula negative b over 2a, negative b 106 over 2 times a. Okay, so what is that? Seems like we're going to get a decimal here. I have a feeling that we're going to go ahead and get another decimal here. We're going to go ahead and divide it, and we're getting a decimal. So just going to keep it as this. Okay, positive, because the negative times the negative is positive. So now we need to substitute that into our formula to find the y value. Okay. And I will type all this in the calculator all at once, so you don't make a mistake and you get a perfectly accurate number. Okay, because we're dealing with decimals, fractions, things that are weird looking, I would say. So I'm going to type all of this in my calculator at once, or I'm using Google search engine, so I'm going to type all of that in Google and see what's going to get me, okay? Okay, when I type this in my calculator, well, in Google search engine, this is what I got right here. This is the answer that it gave me. And this is how I typed it into my Google search engine. And that's what I got. Okay, and that's it for this example.